Gotta pause so when I edit it, it's real easy. Welcome back to the horsemanship. Once again, we're here at Daisy, showing part 2. In part 1, you saw me having Daisy push this horse when he was backing up. We're dealing with a spoiled horse. So to get this horse to respect our space, I don't have 4 feet. So I can't kick this mare like another horse would do to say, get the heck out of my space. Only thing, we got certain tools we use. So to teach her to get out of her space, we got to bring her up to about an 8. We don't want to get her to her 10, but we want her to get to an 8. Because I got to make this mare safe for Daisy. And because of reasons, by the time this is aired, I'll already be in Tennessee. But I only got a month to fix this mare. She's been spoiled rotten. She had the bad case. If I don't want to, I don't have to. She's really into her face. So we're going to go through the first steps, and then I'm going to give Daisy some tips from the saddle. And we'll have Daisy doing it. And first of all, I want Daisy to do is not to, I want her to have her, probably pick up that orange, the longer one, hun. I'm going to have her have that handy, but I just want Daisy to walk at this mare and back out of space. Now the first episode versus now, you'll see a difference. All I gotta do is point, and that's what I want. My horses, personal horses, all I want to do is point and walk, and they move out of my space. And you've seen with Suka, heck, all I gotta do is point. So me, for at this stage, what I would tell Daisy, no, get the shorter one, in between one. You know, I'm gonna point. Now right there, that mare moved that hip, so that's fine with me. I'm gonna point again. If the mare don't move that hip, I'm gonna twirl my rope. But I like to get my horses where all I gotta do is point, and they move the hip like that. And if they don't, since now I'm not using a stick, I'll just twirl my rope and say, the point is please. This is pretty please. If I gotta do that and she don't move it, then I'll put some sugar. So I'm sure Daisy's seen a big change in her. This is a nice mare. She's well trained mare. No, like right there. See, all I did was point, and she's moving that hip. Because I'm really picky about that, because of common sense tells me if that hip's moved away from me, I never have to worry about a horse kicking at me. And plus, every time that horse puts that hip to you, they're giving you what I call the horsey bird. They're saying, screw you, disrespect, and I'm not going to do it. Now, if this mare thinks I'm the leader of her herd, shoot, now after I get done working her, I'll put her up there. She's pacing her stall because it's like, come back. So I'm getting, you know, we're making good progress. So Daisy, all I want you to do is start out, just point. Now look the way I'm walking too. Don't just, because if her cue not to back up is me walk up. See how I'm squared off with her? But her to back up, now you see how my top half is sort of like I'm not pushing her door. I'm leaning into it. So I want her to back out. Just like that. And you don't have to be so serious. Now you can cut up. That's it. Now, what I want you to do, if you have to bring that rope in, it's not a wet needle. You really get in here and get some movement going. You know, just don't say please.
Well, she's so gentle now since you've been training her.
Well, yeah, but you gotta get her gentle with you.
Okay.
There you go. That's it. Now, ideally, right there, it was nice. When Daisy stopped her feet, that mare pretty well stopped her feet. You know, she took a half stride step, but she just getting squared up. So that's what we want. Now just walk at her again. So now we're going to bump it up also too in handwork. So I'm going to have you do this in a minute. I'm going to pull that middle barrel down there to the edge, please. So I'm going to ask this mare to move forward. Now see, what's nice about this mare now, she's a mirror image of my being. Like right now, you know, I took pressure off of her, so I'm going to add a little bit more pressure to her. But you notice once I got her going, I left her alone. Right there, she sort of looked at the ground, so I say no. So I'm going to step in front, have a little bit more momentum to it. Edit that out. So now it's time to bump it up with Daisy and Chica here. So I'm going to take one step forward. See, I'm getting in front of that shoulder. And this is where I start calling where I'm going to start dancing with the horse, basically. Now right there, that was nice. You saw when I took my eyes off of her, took the pressure, she disengaged. But as soon as my eyes went to her, she wasn't moving again. So just going to trot her out, take a step forward. There. Now, everybody wonders why I have junk in here. That's why. She's using her head now. She's thinking. She's not reacting. Blind reacting. You know, she's paying attention to me, but she's paying attention to where her feet's at. So all I'm doing is stepping in front of her shoulder. I want to put a little bit more momentum in there to get her feet moving out a little bit more. A horse like this is really important to get control of her feet. Now right there, I like to see it a little bit better, but that was good. I stepped and I took pressure off of her. I'd rather her step and then stop, because I stopped. And you keep playing with this is where she'd get. So get in here, girl. You know, it's very important to show this episode. Go ahead with this mare. Now go to her. Remember, where's her steering wheel at? Now come here. See, you're doing this nice. I'm glad Daisy screwed up, because this is where a lot of people go to trouble. So what I'm going to do is point. See how I went in front of that shoulder? Or behind the jaw, one or the other. Because that's their steering wheel. So try it again. You know, everybody thinks they got to push this horse from the hip. Once you get them away from it, yeah, you use that hip because that's the drive. Now go to her shoulder. There you go. Now right there, when Daisy, when she's moved out of your space, as soon as she takes that step and moves, you take that pressure off of her. because that's her reward for doing the right thing. Now, right, that's it. That was good. Because I was just getting ready to tell Daisy that mare wasn't looking at her, go to that hip. And one of y'all out there on the YouTube videos, they said I need to get t-shirts saying move that hip, which I think is sort of a cute idea. You can control so much from a horse by moving that hip, and that's we're going to get into it now. Follow through with it. That's it. Now get that hip away from you. See where that hip's at? Now right there was a good example. That mare leaned that hip into Daisy. Now me, I would have corrected her as soon as that hip was to her. No. That's it. Let her move out. And like I said earlier, to me this is where, to me it's like I start dancing with the horse. I got to control that horse's body. There you go. That was good. Now, also from there, what I would do, because we know we can control that shoulder. So at some point, what I'll do is just pick up, and see I just walk to that hip. That will help her other issues too. So while she was moving, I picked up that hip. I got a question asked on Facebook the other day about their horses locking up on the front end when they're asked to move that hip. Well, get the horse moving first, because it's a forward motion. This horse's feet's moving forward, so if I pick up, walk, see, now she's not getting stuck on that front end. You know, don't try to do a standstill if your horse is getting stuck. Use that forward momentum. So here, you give it a shot.
Can I bring it to a stop?
Huh?
Can I bring it to a stop here?
No, just pick up that line a little bit, bend her, and just really go after that hip so she disengages.
After I get her moving?
After you get her moving. Good, that was better. That's it, make her go the other direction. Now, I was proud of Daisy. She didn't take the lazy man's way out. A lot of people said, well, the mare is already going this way, so I'm going to just back off and let her go. Daisy took charge and said, no, mare, you're going the direction I'm telling you. Especially a horse that's already been, you know, been taught, I ride you out for a little while, and Daisy didn't do this, previous owner, and you throw a fit and I'll walk you home. So this mare's worth ethic's been taken away from her. Now step in front, there you go. Now pull in a little bit tighter and just walk to the hip. Walk to the hip, walk to the hip, walk to the hip. That's all right, she did exactly what you told her to do, so that was good. So let's try it again. But walk to the hip when you get her moving. Don't go to that shoulder, go to that hip. All right, now pull in some line and walk to that hip. See, you're being slow. Next time I'm not going to tell you. Next time I'm not going to tell you. Move her around maybe twice, and then, you know, she's not moving, then pull her in and just walk to the hip. See what you're doing, you're pulling her in, but you're staying back here, so you're reversing her. So just at the same time you pull, walk to the hip, okay? Hey girl, I ain't got you. Now walk to the hip. So that's where you're losing it. There you go. That's it. See, you're hesitating. You're stopping. You're breaking it down. It's all one fluid motion. I'm sure you can dance.
I tried.
So it's just, huh?
I tried.
So just like, well, it depends on what kind of dancing you do. But it's one smooth movement. You just pull her around, and then at the same time, as you're pulling her, walk to the hip. Okay. Now see, you hesitated. You might not think you did, but you did. You can do two things at once. Watch me again. Right there, she did this, and then she moved her feet. So what I'm going to do, I got her where I want. Watch my left hand. Pull her to my belly button and walk.
Okay, I need to leave left line out there.
Yeah, right when you get to move her hip.
Okay.
Yeah, pull it in. Ain't nice to be able to touch them things?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was better. But you don't have to get that close to her. You don't have to get right on top of her. So try it. As soon as you get it, we'll go to something else.
Okay.
You know, me dealing with people just like the horses. There's no sense of me going to the next thing until Daisy gets this thing, even though it's a simple exercise. And I'm not going to be settled for just getting the job done. I want her, because if she does it like the way I want her to do it, that means she's got it. Now, see, you're trying.
I started to turn her.
Yeah, see, that's what you're doing. So remember, just take your line and just use this hand.
Okay.
Pull it through, okay?
Oh, okay.
And then when you get a little bit shorter, about like here, bring it to your belly button, just like if you're riding. Mm-hmm. Bring in the belly button and then walk to that hip. Okay. Here you go. You're trying to walk up the rope with your hands instead of just pull it through. Good, mare. Yeah, that was better. Yeah, you don't have to be that close. And also, when you hold that rope, it's these little things. So you still want to do this.
Right. Instead of,
just like you're riding. You know, you put your thumbs up.
Hand down. Okay.
Just like that. So that way, see, I got control, and all I have to do, I'm going to bend that wrist, pull to my belly, and move that hip. So let's try it one more time.
Can I get when she's going around? When she's going around?
Yeah, while she's going around. Be a lot easier on you and her to get her feet moving first. Now let her have some slack for right now because you're moving her out.
Okay.
And right before you get ready, drop your line only with your right hand. There, just like that. See, that would have been perfect if you just kept your feet moving. All right, let's try it one more time, and I think you got it. Yeah, that was better. But see, you're so.
Am I doing it to get her to just stop?
Huh?
She's doing it. I'm doing it.
That's yeah. We want to teach her to move that hip out of our space, okay. And yeah, we want her to stop at some point. But just you should end up here.
In the center of her?
You should be right here. Because that way she gets the concept. Oh, she's there, so I should move that hip. See, every time she moves that hip, you're up here. Now, when you, what you're doing, you're thinking too much, basically, because you got a death grip on this side, this rope. So all you got to do, drop the rope, pull through your hand.
Okay.
That way you don't have to worry about that rope.
That's what I'm worried about is...
Yeah, you're worried about that.
Okay.
No, it's weatherproof and everything, and it's dirt proof, so we don't care if it gets dirty. So just drop it, pull,
okay,
and go for it. Yeah, she's gonna follow me, or try to. Now, there you go. Yeah, that's better. But see, you're still walking to the shoulder. See where you're at?
Here?
You should be at this hip. We want her to learn to move this part of her body away from you. See, you're teaching her to step here and we stop. Okay. Which is not a bad thing, yeah. But that defeats what we're trying to get our point across. So, as I say, one more time. Well, you're doing fine. One of the hardest things I have trouble teaching people is the groundwork. So you're way above the normal person, Daisy.
Remember,
so
I'm still green.
Well, as one old timer told me one time, I was complaining about green people and said, "You was green once, and how you gonna argue with that?"
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're right. All right, let's move her out. Let's try it again. Now, part of the reason it's important to get this mare to move that hip is like when I climb the saddle. She's been taught to throw a hissy fit and she gets to go home. So let's take a mare like that, and let's say I was going to be here another month and I had her another month. When I started taking her on trail, wherever she starts having that fit that day is where I'm going to start moving that hip from the saddle. And not worry about it. In other words, it's going to be a training session. Instead of just say, oh, let's grab a six-pack and let's go for a ride. No, do your homework, because this is a nice mare. The main thing is don't get lazy. Don't take nothing personal with the horses. It's up to us to talk loud and clear. The first session, we had to talk loud and clear to this mare, because if we didn't, at some point, she would have hurt Daisy. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't have 4 feet to kick a horse. And I tell you what, them little taps that we were doing on that horse's front legs wasn't hurting her. But the whole difference is, from that video to this video, you're seeing a different horse. Because yes, we start talking loud and clear. And I ask something, I expect to get it. But the horses appreciate that. You know, we need to start doing that with our kids too now. I'm seeing so many, well, little Johnny's throwing a fit. Well, I don't want to do nothing because he's going to throw a bigger fit. Well, no, little Johnny needs to go in the corner and sit there until he shuts his mouth. And then quit talking to him. And that's where I see a big problem with horses. People want to keep talk. They're not demanding squat. They're just saying a bunch of empty words. Get off your butts and be a horse owner, responsible horse owner. And realize you're dealing with a horse. Love them and appreciate them for who and what it is. That's simple. And we need to do that with people, all in general, with everything. So, with that said, Daisy's, we're going to pull her other horse out. So I had my preaching. This was a nice lesson. I liked it. It was good. So as I always say, be true to yourself and be true to the horse. To my kids, my grandkids, and special person out there, Washtay Lake, God bless, and see you soon.